Welcome to another episode of the Play Your Cards Right podcast. This is episode 6 with my brother Wilhelm Duke. Welcome to the show, my brother. Man, I appreciate you for being here, my brother.
Thank you for having
First, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, what you got going on, your show, your story, everything about you, where they can find you at. So I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
What up, y'all? It's Wilhelm Duke. Shout out all my Dukes and Duchesses. You can find me all platforms anywhere. That's WILHELM DUKE. I got 5 albums out, and I got 3 singles over the next 3 weeks coming out.
Ooh.
And but the album that I want to direct my fans and new fans to go listen to is Chrome Adrenaline, which dropped almost a year ago in December.
Let's do it. Man, I appreciate that. Appreciate you for being here. And I appreciate you because you're about to take this whooping, bro. We got Uno today, guys. we got Uno today. My boy says it's been a minute since he played. So we starting off today with some Uno. But before I start shuffling the cards, bro, one of my biggest things, bro, is you in music, bro. What's been the toughest aspect of you getting started and on your way up, bro? What's been your biggest challenges?
Probably the biggest challenge is to figure out, like, what to do with music when you're dropping it.
Yeah.
Like, the entire marketing package, the rollout, getting money, but then also where to spend that money so that you know that you're getting, like, the right type of result.
For real.
Because there's a lot of scams that go on in this industry. But I think, to answer the question simply, the hardest thing for me as an artist, going back since 2012 to now, is like, what do you do with the music once it's ready to drop?
Yeah.
Because we're not signed to a label.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I feel like that the answer to that question has changed a lot year to year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And being an independent artist, bro, we first of all, we have a lot of things when we are artists. It's our art, so we feel like more sensitive about it, especially when we giving it out to the world. And then finding out who likes our music or who likes our podcast or who is in our niche or who likes what we're putting out. I think that's the biggest thing that artists are always trying to find out, bro. And I feel like what you just said, it comes with a lot of bump in your head, like trying to figure out who the right people to go with to help you with promotion. I ran into that a lot of times. I know I love to motivate people, but I also like to teach people. It was a lot of paying for promotion, but like it wasn't going the right way. You get what I'm saying? Or paying people for placements on like playlists, bro, but it wasn't the right playlist, or they didn't have enough viewers or followers, but you thought that they did. There's a lot of people out there that's really catfishing on like the viewer side, but you gotta be able to scope out the scene, be able to try different things for your brand. You don't never want to be stagnant. So all these things come with people that's out here I'm really trying to show y'all that there's people out here that's like gonna scam you. I know this is a motivational podcast, but you can't be naive either. You know what I'm saying? You gotta realize that when you independent and you in this game and you trying to reach out to people know like that you doing this. People know like, oh yeah, we probably got us one. And they gonna try it. Like they gonna try it.
The people that are out here trying to make a quick dollar off people with a dream.
Right.
It's really what it is.
Yeah. So what are some of the ways and what are some of the ways that work for you, bro? Like what are some of the things that you did that you like, okay, I tried that, but these are some of the things that work for me. I need to cut too.
Sorry, wait, I just picked the top card?
Yep. Yeah, you no. Cutting is like this.
Bang. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I should know that because my best friend's a card shark, so.
So yeah, what are some of the things that work for you?
The things that have worked for me for sure are just posting more and utilizing the free tools that we already have with all these social platforms.
Yeah.
Running ads on Instagram.
Yeah.
Running ads on Facebook. Running ads on YouTube. And finally, YouTube just started letting me run ads because I've been like restricted for a number of years.
What was that story?
Just like they wouldn't let me run ads, and they kept saying that my Google Ads account was restricted.
Oh.
And it was just like, I've gone back and forth with Google, but finally they unrestricted me because I made like a 3rd Google Ads account and it was chill. But
right.
A lot of the things that haven't worked are just paying people that hop in your DMs off IG that say that they got this, that, and the third with like some type of promo package. You know, like the other day I got hit up for influencer marketing. He says he's got like a database of 30,000 influencers, right?
Yeah.
Pay me $750 to $1,500, and 100 influencers from this database of like 30,000 are gonna use your song in a video.
Yeah.
It's like, how would I pay for that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially if I want to spend $750 into my music, I'll probably just run all of that on an ad before I pay somebody that's like faceless on an Instagram account jumping in my DMs.
Yeah.
But I paid, you know, going back, especially before 2020, I've definitely shelled out a lot of dollars for things like that. You know what I mean? And just one after the other realizing, whoa, this is not working.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get, I mean, a video I dropped in 2019, I went on Fiverr, thought the promo was legitimate. It's like $50. The views were looking good. And then, you know, I see the comments, and all the comments are coming from like, you know, Indian accounts, Middle Eastern accounts.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's not like they're saying things in their language about the video.
Right.
Which then I'd be like, oh, that's real.
Yeah.
No, it's all in English and in the most basic phrases. So I'm like, right away, I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But I paid for a lot of shit like that.
Okay.
And it's all over
Yeah.
the industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll get solicited on Facebook, IG, Twitter, everything for that. So,
yeah. It's a hard industry to try to be successful in. So the best advice that I would give to people, right, is start studying your analytics. So once you start doing these ads, just do ads. Like let's just stop it right here. I'm finally learning to practice what I'm preaching right now. So this week I'm doing ads too. Shout out to me. like let's just start there. So run ads, find out what people like your music, what gender they are, where they at. So just do stuff broad. Start off your search broad. Just do a broad search for the people who like your music. Then specifically get that down. So all right, now I know John in California likes my type of music. What kind of person is John? Is he a hip hop person? Is he a artsy person? Is he a... So narrow your fan base down. So once you get that fan base solidified in that realm, you know exactly where you should be pushing your money to, where you should be shelling your money out to. So it's not gonna be a stoppage in all right, they're sending your music out to these random people over here. It's a girl all the way in Italy and she's 13, like, and doesn't care about what you're doing. It's somebody who sees your music, they like your music, things like their content are already scrolling down their page. So when they see yours, they're like, oh, this fits what I like. Right. So they can already be prepared for what they're gonna see. Absolutely. So it's things like that come when it comes to running ads and being successful. What the next question I want to get into? We can start the game too, but the next question I want to get, it's on you first. The next question I want to get into, what are some people, some strong people that helped you along the way, that helped you be more successful than you already were?
Well, first let's go with my wife, Candace Augustin.
Shout out to the wife. Shout out my wife too. Nice, I love you, baby. All right, go ahead.
Let's go with Twista, who I worked for in 2022.
For sure, shout out, bro.
Definitely a very formidable experience.
Yeah.
And that helped me grow a lot. Definitely learned a lot.
That's a hip hop legend right there too, for real. Shout out Twista.
Absolutely, shout out Twista. Great guy
yeah.
For sure. Oh, it's on me. Hold on, I gotta. Okay. And honestly, there's a lot of Chicago artists, both currently active and, you know, people that might have fallen off that were definitely like crucial in my development. Honestly, like way too many to name. But like, you know, folks in like Ever Evolve Collective, or like shout out, you know, people like Mo Cyrus, Novator. Shout out to some people I went to college with in Columbia, you know, Rapper Heartless. You know, shout out to homie Dean Akbar, White Noise. I've definitely done a lot of work with them lately. For sure. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, any collaborator or anybody that I've done work with is definitely like helpful with growth as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like even experiences like this, even if it's not like music related.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So how did you get into writing and EPKs and being able to do your own magazine and being able to host your own podcast? So how did you start those things? How did they become advantageous to you?
I think back in the hold on, it's on me. Back in the college days, it's like I'm putting out music with my hip hop duo, but I'm hitting a lot of brick walls in terms of like I know blogs were hot at the time, like getting blog placements. So I was trying to get blog placements at the time.
Yeah.
You know, things like Fake Short Drive, Elevator, Lyrical Lemonade, but you know, not getting accepted. So then I'm like, well, maybe I can kind of approach this music industry a different way. So I started doing like journalism, writing articles on artists, which led to the EPKs and like the bios and stuff.
Yeah.
But really at that time, you know, 2014, 15, the goal was like, okay, if I'm not getting on these platforms as an artist, maybe I can get on one of these platforms as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
And had the opportunity actually to write for Elevator. That didn't, I ended up not going through with it and writing for a different platform, and then for myself. And then when I linked up with Ever Evolve, started writing for them. Mm-hmm. Then my wife's platform, and then finally my own. But as you know, a way to give back to artists, build community, help a lot of different rappers and bands out.
Yeah.
And also like, you know, maybe this attacking the music business will help obviously my artistry and my music, even though it's not like my main thing.
Yeah.
Because my dream isn't to be like a music writer
and
like write about other people. My dream is, you know, to be a touring musician.
Yeah.
So, but it's still a lot of value, you know what I'm saying, for people. So.
Oh, speaking of adding value, so how would you say that you add value to others? And then I always ask this question. This is like the important question that I ask people that come on my show. What are some routines and some things that you can give to the people that's following and the people that's listening to help them be successful?
Facts. Okay. Well, value, I would say I'm pretty open when it comes to like sharing information, knowledge, resources, tools in the music business, you know, music industry space. I feel like I'm pretty much an open door with that. I used to do like consulting and try to like charge for it, but then it's like, it's not really my business lane. But yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. Like, you know, always be down to share information with other artists. And you don't know what like other artists know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, exchanging ideas and sharing conversation with other recording artists, musicians of all types, that actually helps you gather like a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, for
so
real.
You can continue like giving that back even more. You know, and it all builds upon itself.
Yeah.
But the second question with the habits and like routines to be successful, I would say consistency, but to break that down further, like don't be afraid. Anybody out there, don't be afraid to just put something out, even if it's to nobody. You know, like you got an account, you just started something. Maybe you have nobody in your life that really like supports or fucks with what you do, but like still put something out there and just build that base, that catalog of whatever you're doing. Because eventually people are going to find it and if it's dope and you're doing your thing, people will find it. So don't be afraid to just post to no one,
right?
You know, to start, if that's where you're starting from, you know.
Yeah, bro. Start somewhere. That's the biggest thing. Like, we all have. wait, hold on.
No,
Man, just put a zero.
There we go.
It's still on you. You skipped me again. But yeah, you start somewhere. You know, you gotta have people around you that can help be able to build you up. You gotta have the resources. You gotta have these things around you that can A, add value to yourself, and B, add value to other people. I think it's real imperative that we find some routine. If it's not every day, it got to be in the back of your mind or in the front of your head. What is it that I can do to be more successful? And it's not just based on music, although we do music. It's based on how you see yourself. Like, where do you want to see yourself in life? How you want your life to be? How you want to set yourself up in the future? And I think being able to, A, service other people, like add value to other people, and add value to yourself at the same time. I think that's one of the most important factors that people often forget, because it's like everybody in this realm of like, what can I get from this? What can I get from this situation? What can I get out of this person? What can I get from that? No. Adding value is, what can you do for somebody else first? Like, what services do you render first so that you can be able to be a person that can be of value to somebody else? And then realize that you being of value to that person, they can be of value to you as well. So I think that's a thing that we don't do as artists. We don't have a lot of things that we can do when it comes to resources. In Chicago, we have a lot of different facilities, but everybody is spread out. Nobody ever, like, we don't get together and sit down as artists and people who know we make music. Like, we all know each other. We all literally know each other. Pardon our 9-to-5s. Everybody got a 9-to-5. We got to live. Economy crazy. We all got days where we could just meet up and sit down and have a conversation and write whatever you don't know. And I know, give it to you. Whatever that person don't know,
Chicago,
bro. The amount of artists that just we know together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will bring out Dan. You will bring out White Noise. I bring out Casey. I bring out Blake, Demi Blake. I bring out, you know what I'm saying, all the people that I know that do music. And we sit down at one table and have a constructive conversation about what worked, what didn't work, and how we can be able to evolve with what everybody know about BMI, the industry, ASCAP, and actually be productive at that time. Sit down and work on our music, our craft, how to shoot videos, how to create content, how to Instagram, how to be able to run ads, so everybody has the same knowledge. It's supposed to be It's supposed to be a team. Like, everybody's supposed to be on a team. Like, bro, if I don't know something, I know somebody who knows something. It's supposed to be a team of us.
Some actual unity.
Right, some actual unity. Like, everybody do their own thing, which is great. And everybody got their own shine, which is great. But it'll be, you know how epic it'd be if we all came together and gave each other our ideas, our experiences, and what worked. And
on some ATL type shit.
Right, true. And it's just a point to be able to be like, you ain't gotta bump your head at every step. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to. You don't. If I went through this already, and I seen that it didn't work for me, I seen how I felt. I seen that, like, these people not good. I seen it. I failed at doing this. You don't have to go through those same failures because I already went through it. So let me tell you, like, hey, this is how I did it successfully. So this is how you should do it if you want to do it that way. You know, so that everybody can be able to miss all these. How much? If somebody would have told you before you spent all that money on them promos that just didn't work, you know what I'm saying? Somebody was like, nah, bro, do these Instagram ads. You would save way more money and way more time if you just start with the YouTube and Instagram ads way before you spend all this bread. And you will see, that's the thing. That's another thing. Cool. When you sign up for them promotions, you can't see no analytics behind that. It's just people that's commenting, bro. Like, this real life, you can't see who said what. You can't see You can't see where they from. You can't see if they are male or female. You can't see what type of music they like. You can't see what kind of other artists they listen to. You can't see what the analytics from the go in front of you. You can see exactly where they are on this planet. How old they are, what age range they in, what demographic they are, what gender they are, so that you can be able to be like, this is my target audience, so that you can be able to shell out all your creative stuff to people who actually care about it. You know, those are the big things that we should be able to utilize and be able to have conversations about. But that's going into my next question, bro. So, how do you envision yourself in the next 5 years? Like, where do you see Wilhelm Duke? What stage do you see yourself on?
Definitely traveling a lot, performing a lot, collaborating a lot. Basically see myself 6 months out of the year, maybe 8 months out of the year, touring, doing collaborations, doing features, and really, like, just working, but at a much higher independent level. But basically, regional, national touring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if that's 100, 200, 300, I'm be very satisfied with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And okay, what value does being independent hold to you?
The value that being independent holds for me right now is the idea that I don't have, well, I have a team in the sense that I have my wife and, I have artists to work with, but I have the autonomy, the control, the power. I can decide what I want to do, how I want to do it. That's not always the best thing, you know what I mean? If you're like being lazy or if you're just not fully committing to certain rollouts or music or drops or whatnot. But no, I mean, I very much love being independent. The only thing really that I feel like I would miss or that I do or that I lack is, just kind of funding from the label as like a bank sort of thing. But, I mean, I don't think, and we've had conversations about this before, going a few years back, but I don't think having a lack of money also really kills or stops the dream. Like, I feel like that becomes an excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got some money to spend on your music career. It's just like, what's the smartest way that you can allocate those funds?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because then you'll just get in this cycle of like, oh, well, I don't have this fictitious amount, so it's not going to do this with the music or what I think it's going to do, And that really does, that does your marketing process a disservice. You should still put it out no matter what and just spend the money that you can. Running the ads, marketing it, getting placements, and obviously like doing interview runs, podcasts, you know what I'm saying? But basically, if I was signed to a major label, who knows how much control I would have over my own career. We like to talk about Chance the Rappers, people like under TDE that seem to have a lot of like artistic control.
Yeah.
Or like a Tech 9. So, I definitely am inspired by people that are high up in the industry, but still operate kind of independently in a sense. But that's not to say I wouldn't ever sign a major label contract either. It would just have to make sense.
Right. Of course. Let's talk about Instagram. And how do you get partnerships on Instagram?
That's a great question. Posting a lot, but posting a lot is the main answer.
Yeah.
But DMing, I've DM'd a few brands before.
Yeah.
Where I sent them a pitch just based off the value that I thought was mutual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, shoe brand called Freshie. I reached out to them and I said, hey, like, I think what I do in my hip hop and my image is perfect for your shoes. I would love to do like I either said sponsorship, collaboration, or I didn't use the word partnership. I said sponsorship or collaboration. But they reached back out to me and they said, well, we're not looking to really sponsor you, but we'll send you like a care package or whatever. So technically, to be quite honest, I haven't actually locked up so many partnerships as I have locked up free merch and free product just for asking for it. Yeah. And to be quite honest, not really having a whole lot of numbers to show for it, at least in the following. Yeah. Like my IG, I only have like 4K followers. I've done views on like Facebook and YouTube, don't get me wrong, but yeah, no, that's the simple answer is DMing some brands that you like and saying like, hey, I think I'm a good fit for your brand. I'm looking to do this. Yeah. And honestly, if you shoot high, they might come back at you with maybe not a sponsorship or a collaboration, but they might just throw you free merch. Right. Now that you brought that up, I haven't done that in a while, so thank you for reminding me. Because like I need to get on my grind with that. Because like products are huge. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's sales.
And it's just for people to understand that it's certain avenues that you can reach just by reaching out. Like some people don't know that. Like so that's why we talk about it. So that they understand it's like, all right, if I reach out to these people and I have my pitch, I'm showing them that I have value by reaching out. I feel like I'm this person who can be able to hold your brand to this standard with my brand. You know what I'm saying? You are you as a person. You are your own brand. So you're like, yeah, I feel like I can hold myself up and show your brand in the white light. And they might be like, I think you can too. You know what I'm saying? So it just gives you a certain, especially the way that you write the email. So it's like your own. So sometimes I go in, and this is my little secret sauce. Sometimes I go in and I act like I'm my own manager. So I wouldn't go in off my account. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like management at Pharaoh Afternoon or like my management email account, and I would be like, I'm the only we, but it's not a we. It's like I'm saying it as we, as in my company or my brand, or you know what I'm saying? Like we are reaching out on the terms of Pharaoh Afternoon to be able to be sponsored by this brand. We think he's a perfect. But I'm typing this message as a manager in my company, fulfilling a role for myself. So to get in these sponsorships, so you're not necessarily yourself at that time, but it's you typing the email. This is for all the independent people who want to work with brands, and sometimes they need to feel like they talking to somebody other than the person who's reaching out to them.
On your behalf.
On your behalf. If you have somebody reaching out to me, I feel like you're important. That's what it is in their mind. So if you're reaching out yourself to be like, like sometimes it comes off like, you reaching out to, you know what I'm saying, do this deal yourself. When somebody should be reaching out on the behalf of you, because if you get into a contract, who is your lawyer? They're going to feel like you don't have a team behind you. They don't feel like you know. And that'll be another way that they can be able to take advantage of the situation.
Oh, absolutely.
But if they understand that you have somebody that's reaching out on your behalf, if they want to work with you, then they got to reach through somebody. It makes them feel like they're reaching out to the right person.
Right. I mean, it adds legitimacy. It makes them feel like you're more important.
Yeah.
And important enough to, work with them on whatever level that is. No, that's absolutely. I always recommend having, pretending either to be your own manager or getting a manager.
Yeah.
Once you get to that level, for sure.
Yeah.
Have people reach out,
Yeah. And I'm just learning a lot too. Like I've been in this for a long time. I've just been learning a lot too. I've been trying to get like my music and like movies and like sync licensing and stuff like that. Like you really need a lawyer. Like it's like creative artists, lawyers out here that you really need. Like once you get to a place where you put out music, own your masters. Let's start off with that. So owning your masters. So go in and get your stuff on BMI. Go get your stuff on.
That's what I should have brought up.
Song Trust.
Owning your own masters. Owning your music.
Bro, owning your own music is the first thing to like really wanting to be an independent artist. Is like if this is your art, you should be able to own. Like you should own your art. That's why you're an independent artist. That's why you're doing the things that you do. Cool. So the first thing is owning your own stuff, and then after that, if you want your art is good enough to be in these collections or these movies or these plots or sing licensing and stuff like that, you need a lawyer on your side. So it's art lawyers. So you just look up lawyers for the creative arts, and you can find somebody who will help you when it's time to look over your contracts for these sponsorships or for these sync licenses or things of that nature, so that you can be able to be in the best deal possible, so they don't swindle you out of your copyrights or your masters and stuff. Like, because it happens, you know what I'm saying? So you want people on your side, and they work with your budget. It's not like they finna be like, when people hear lawyer, they think like, oh, I'm finna be spending thousands of dollars. Like, I ain't, if I ain't got that for this, and I ain't got that for this. Like we saying, use your money in the right way. They will work with what you got, you know what I'm saying? So you come to them and you tell them like, oh, I'm trying to get on this movie or this pilot or whatever the case may be, and they will tell you like, oh, I'm a lawyer. I work with people. If you tell them how much money you got, they find you a lawyer for people in your bracket. I don't care if it's $50 or $100 or $200. And so that's. But you have to have somebody legitimate on your side that's sitting down with you in these contracts. Obviously, they're gonna ask for whatever percentage, of course, because they're helping you at the end of the day, and you want these people to get paid.
Definitely don't be excited to sign just because there's going to be money on the other side of that contract, probably pretty quickly in some cases. But definitely don't be too excited to sign. And
that's another thing. Don't be too excited to sign, but have somebody on your side that you trust, that can
Oh,
be able to
absolutely.
help you look over those
Absolutely.
contracts, even if it's with the lawyer, because you gotta have
Well, yeah, I mean,
somebody
I would
you
say
trust.
ideally a lawyer, but obviously you want to have another trusted person present with
right,
you.
so that you can be able
Yeah.
to feel comfortable about the whole situation. I don't know what's on. It's on me or you.
I think it's on you.
All right, cool. Damn, I ain't got that. That's cool. We're gonna try to wrap this game up too, but what are your views on being able to work with people in the capacity that you trust them enough to be able to hold up your brand to the same extent that you hold it up to. So it's like you trust these people with your brand well enough to let them take over some work. Like I'm having trouble in this area of like letting not certain people, but letting certain pieces of my art go to certain people, like giving them a job or giving them a title to be able to assist me in and being where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm so used to doing everything myself, right? So I'm used to making the music, putting it up on everything, but it's a lot.
Right.
It becomes a lot over time. So who is that you? I don't want to say who is it because it don't have to necessarily be a person that's close to you. But do you feel comfortable enough in those situations to be able to let some of your art go, or not even your art, be able to put people in certain positions to be able to help you be successful? I have a problem with letting certain stuff go because I feel like I should be the head of everything, but it's a lot. So I think I need to let that part of myself go.
Well, I mean, so you've always been heavy on like merchandise.
Yeah.
And you do all those visuals and like you design that yourself. So like I understand like being definitely like particular and a perfectionist like with the craft because like you want this type of image. And obviously like the way you're particular with your merch obviously that carries over to like, your whole image in general and like the music videos and everything like that.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good question because well, I feel like for me personally I was in a duo for so long where my homie had the majority of the creative control, which was interesting. But me being not the best visual person, that was easy for me to like let go of that type of, I guess, creative control. Like, my wife does a lot of the graphic design, artistic stuff, designs the music videos a lot of times. I mean, I'll edit and cut, but then she'll like do some stuff to them. But, I guess I've also convinced myself, and I do believe that, what am I trying to say? Just getting the art out there, regardless of how on brand it is ultimately more important than making sure it's on brand visually.
Yeah.
But, sometimes looking back, it's like, that didn't quite go the way I wanted it to, or that doesn't quite look the way I wanted it to. But like whatever, I'm still keeping it there. On to the next, like move on. But no, that's a really hard thing. I feel like for a lot of artists is to, if they've been like you've been doing the merch, you've been doing the music, you've been doing all these things with your brand, and you've had control over that, to like let that go to somebody else to help you and delegate.
Yeah.
So you can have more time.
Yeah.
That's tough because it's like you are the creator.
Yeah.
So you know what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And the visual that you want.
Right.
And now you're talking about like. Yeah, no, I don't even know the answer to that question because that's tough. I've never been the visual person.
Yeah.
So like letting my wife do that was like, all right,
yeah,
I got you. You know what I'm saying?
So I see a lot of videos with video sushi.
Yeah, me and my wife, that's our,
That is
video brand.
So you do the editing on that?
I do a lot of editing. Mostly cutting, so like, when we shoot a video and we're doing a video for somebody, I'll cut the footage, and then my wife loves to do like, different effects and designs and stuff like that. But
that's tough, bro.
Yeah.
That is tough. So shout out to y'all for doing that. We're gonna have to play the rest of this game off film. I definitely appreciate you for coming out, my brother. I definitely appreciate the episode, the talk.
This is dope.
Man, shout out. All you gotta tell them where they can find you at on platform.
What up? Yo, Pharaoh Afternoon. Thank you for having me on Player Cards Right. This was dope. I'm Wilhelm Duke. That's WILHELMDUKE. Find me on all platforms, but definitely follow me on like Instagram. You know what I'm saying? But shout out all my Dukes and Duchesses. And yo, go stream and run up the revival by my man Pharaoh Afternoon right here.
Good
You know what I'm
looking,
saying?
my boy. For real, I definitely appreciate. That's episode 6 of the Player Cards Right podcast. Man, we out. We lit. And let's get it.